It's very frustrating to not know what to do with a child that's upset, that can't handle their emotions, and you want so desperately to feed them.
It's really hard not knowing what to do. You're frustrated, you get burnt out. I would leave in tears because I didn't know what to do. I saw you kicking your friend. No, you look at Miss Jenna. Look at Miss Jenna, right here. Look at my eyes. I saw you kicking your friend.
When teachers are not able to manage the behavior of the children, they become so frustrated. It's not unusual for them to say, I can't do this anymore.
You're making me very sad right now, Joey. Okay, let's go sit down. No. We'll sit down together. Come on.
And so teachers can feel like failures themselves and think, gosh, you know, I've been doing this for a while. I should be able to figure out what's causing this behavior, how to make things better for this child and for the classroom dynamic.
You're going to share. No. We're going to share. Can I have one? Can I have a chip?
It's just trying to stop this from happening, trying to stop that from happening, trying to stop these arguments and fighting. When you have 15 kids in there acting that way, it's really hard to get your work done. You're constantly getting pulled off task.
What's wrong, Jalen? Huh? You want a bike?
There's not been anyone out there that has said, here's some basic principles that you can apply in your classroom to help children, you know, manage their own behavior.
Sometimes there just aren't enough tools in your toolbox.
Super Friends use nice talking, gentle hands and feet. They look with their eyes, listen with their ears, and take turns with toys.
So giving them the tools and giving them a toolbox from which they can draw takes away that feeling of incompetency.
So it works out for everyone. You create a classroom environment that's welcoming and warm and loving and caring, where you can work together.
Are we listening? Are we listening? Boys and girls.
It's a philosophy, really. It's how you approach what you're doing. Then the main player is the teacher.
Everybody say 1, 2, 3. Everybody say 1, 2, 3. Everybody say 1, 2, 3. Thank you so very much.
I see the difference in my children now. I see the difference in my classroom. The classroom is so much calmer now.
They learn from each other. They teach each other. It has made my life less stressful. It really has.
It's like a breath of fresh air. My classroom is totally different than it was 6 months ago, 8 months ago. It's very encouraging.
Eyes watching, listening ears.
Say high five. You did it. High five.
Riley, you can come get a happy stamp.
What's that song? Oh man, let's get busy.
When we're done, we do what?
Put it back up.
Good job. Good job. He said he's happy because he just wrote his name.
I like the way you guys work together to do that. Thank you. Good job.
What time is it?
Cleanup time.
Cleanup time. Here we go. The cleanup song is coming. I need to see people cleaning up if we're getting a happy stamp.
You can't teach a hungry child because he's focused on being hungry. It's the same way with children who have challenging behaviors. Literally, not only are they not learning, but the children in the classroom are not learning because the teacher's using all their time, you know, trying to deal with that behavior. If I had to rank it, I'd almost have to rank the social emotional part of what we do above the cognitive stuff, because if you don't have the social emotional, you know, chances are the children are not learning in your classroom.
Colin and Hannah, I like the way you guys are playing together. Should we go put your names on the board?
Here.
Let's go put them on there.
A board.
Come on. You get to put them on the board. Come on, hurry. You guys were playing together, so we're gonna put Colin's name and Hannah's name up here because you guys were doing such a great job playing together. Give me 5. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's go back. Sometimes I will sit down and just cry because the change I have seen with all my kids, not even the ones that have needed a lot of intervention, but even the ones that haven't needed a lot, the change that I've seen in them, it's huge. I'm gonna read a story. When I read a story, you need to have your listening ears on. We're gonna read Glad Monster, Sad Monster. Okay, here we go. The yellow monster says the opening birthday presents Playing ball, slurping ice cream, and dancing with my friend make me glad. Can you show me your glad face? Good job, Colin. Being laughed at when I fall down and having someone knock over my blocks makes me angry. Let me see your angry face. You mad at Joey? That's good. The blue monster says that waving goodbye, watching my snow monster melt, losing my big blue balloon, and having it rain on my parade makes me sad. Let me see your sad face. Sad. The children are expressing their emotions, and we have a board of all the different faces of how they're feeling, and they know how feeling frustrated feels because we talk about it now. So I'm giving them the words and they're using them in context so that I can know what they need. And that just makes a huge difference. Do you guys remember our story? Glad monster, sad monster?
Yeah.
Yes? We're gonna make monster faces. Remember, there's all kinds of different faces that we can make. You can make this a happy face or a sad face. And then when you're all done, you have to tell me if your monster's happy or sad, and then I'll write it down and we'll hang them up. Remember, we have to share all the stuff. Miss Riley, come back over here. You need to tell me about your monster really quick. Come here. I'm gonna put your name on it. How is your monster feeling?
He's crying.
He's crying? Why is he crying?
Because he's sad.
He's just really sad. Did he have a bad day? Yeah.
He did feel sad because he wants his mama.
Oh, he wants his mommy. Tell me about yours. How is your monster feeling?
Angry.
Angry? That's a good one. Why is it angry?
Because it's mad because it wants its mommy.
It's mad because it wants its mommy? That's good. Give me 5. Good words. Thank you.
I was spending so much time correcting that behavior. It was taken away from the learning process. But once we started the program, my whole attitude changed about those kids.
I think a lot of teachers don't realize, though, that it doesn't happen overnight. I've tried a lot of different things, and I just have an open mind of, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm going to try something else until it does work, because I know that it will, and it has. It's paid off.
And I love it that I'm getting to see a lot of children, instead of tattletaling to the teacher, when children are really able to manage amongst themselves to be able to solve that problem. It's like they get to where they're solving their own problems, and the class is almost on autopilot. It's like, whoa, I have time to intervene for educational matters, you know?
And I'm not spending so much time redirecting, because now they have the words that they need, and they're solving their own problems. And if they see their friends doing something that they're not supposed to do, then one of them might go over and they correct them themselves.
I like the way you guys work together to do that. Thank you. Good job. You'll put it up. Oh, well, thank you so very much. Thank you. I like the way you guys work together.
Remember when you...
Damien, I'm so proud of you. You tried some of your cabbage. Good job, Damien. I'm going to have to tell Mama you ate something today. That's going to make her very happy.
So when you get cleaned up, I'll do that.
How are you feeling? Oh my goodness. Are you happy or sad? Are you feeling blue or are you feeling bad? Are you amused, confused, or frustrated, surprised? Try these feelings on for size.
When we come in, we talk about, how do you feel today? It talks about, am I happy, am I mad, am I sad? It validates how they feel.
What are Tucker Turtle rules? Eyes what? Eyes watching. Listening ears.
Body still.
Body still and wide voices. Those are Tucker Turtle rules. So Tucker Turtle says he's ready to start.
We're constantly encouraging the kids to use their words, and they're interacting together more often, and they're participating more in circle time.
Spin, spin. Jump, jump.
I think they know how to handle themselves better. So when they go to kindergarten, they're going to be ready, because they're going to have their social and emotional. It makes me feel good as a teacher to see the changes that they're doing.
Boys and girls, it is time to listen. It is time to listen. Boys and girls, boys and girls.
I think a child that feels out of control in some ways feels trapped and in other ways just feels enraged. It's like they're stuck in there. They're too small to really do any damage, but they're going to try. They're going to make sure that you notice that they are hurting.
Sometimes they don't have the words to express themselves. They don't know what they're feeling. Sometimes all they know to do is to act out in aggression.
If they don't have someone to give them words, they're going to find a way to express these emotions.
Because they don't know what to do. So it breaks them down, and if they're having somebody yelling at them or not knowing, how to respond to them in a positive way, they aren't ever going to know how to do that, even when they get older.
If they don't have the proper ways, they'll find another way to get what they mean and what they need out of their system.
Look like a new car.
Joey?
Hi.
Joey. What were you doing to Lewis?
Sitting Lewis.
You were sitting on Lewis? I don't think Lewis liked that. I think you were kicking Lewis too. Let's go talk to Lewis. Was Joey kicking you? On you? He was kicking you and sitting on you?
Yeah.
Tell Joey, stop kicking me.
Lewis. Stop kicking me.
Say, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Like it.
Joey needs to keep his hands to himself. Lewis does not like it when you do that to him. Are you ready to go show me gentle hands?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to go give Lewis a hug and show him gentle hands. Go ask Lewis. Say, Lewis, can I give you a hug? Let's go. Can Joey give you a hug? Do you want a hug? Oh, that is so nice. Thank you, Joey.
You have to teach behavior just like you have to teach children how to read. We have compassion for kids who have trouble learning, but we tend to think that if kids are acting up, they're just being bad.
I think a lot of times teachers will say, I could do so much with my students, I could do so much with my classroom if I didn't have these behavior problems. It's not just the learning that occurs in circle. It's not just the learning that occurs in the center areas. It's learning that occurs at every moment. That is teaching time. Yes, it does in some ways interrupt the flow of the room, but that also is a teachable moment.
I think if you're a teacher, you are probably very good in school. You probably follow all the rules. So when that little child comes along who doesn't and says things that are always nice, you go, oh my gosh. You're so surprised you don't have any tools. Right. So when it happens, you just want to call me in and make me fix that child so you can go home or whatever. So I think a lot of times it's because we don't know what it's like. You can have all those skills in place, but if you don't know when that child hits you what to do, you'll equip it in the first month of school. And it happens a lot of times.
The focus is so much on academics that it's not so much on the social emotional development. That's where we have to begin when we're talking about young children.
I'm going to introduce you to my super friend here. This is called I Can Be a Super Friend. Sometimes I want to play with what my friends are playing with. When I play, sometimes, I feel like taking toys, using mean words, or hitting and kicking. Does that sound like a super friend?
No.
Oh, no. When I play, sometimes I feel like taking toys, using mean words, or hitting and kicking. My friends get sad or mad. Show me your face. Do you feel sad or mad when your friends take it? Ooh, that's a mad face. Don't take her toy. She's gonna get mad. I can say, can I play with that toy? Ask your neighbor. Say, can I play with that toy?
Can I play with that toy?
Or, can I play with you?
Can I play with you?
I know, wouldn't you want to play with someone who talks to you like that? I know, I'd say yes too.
I really love that this program is so preventative. You teach all of the children the skills that some of them may need. Every child needs to learn how to deal with other people, so it works out for everyone.
Isn't it nice to say please? That's not always how it works, but more often than not, people are going to give you something if you say please than if you don't. Does that mean you always get it? Can I please have $1 million? Pretty please, you're going to give me money? See, it doesn't always work like that. Every time you say please, it's not going to happen. But if I say, hey, let me tie your shoe. Do you want to talk to me? I don't know, that didn't sound too friendly. May I please tie your shoe? Which would you rather?
It feels tremendous whenever a child has gone from one extreme to the other. It's just helped me feel so much more confident and competent as a teacher.
My clever boy.
friend is helping.
Oh, give it here, Super Friend. Thank you for helping him.
Do super friends supposed to wait their turn?
Sit outside the pool, do you think?
Then you gotta wait your turn then.
Cool.
You're giving her a spoon?
No.
Oh, my. Oh, I know you both want to get in there. It's hard. Let's do it together. It is really difficult when you enter the school year and you have a classroom of some challenging behaviors. So when teachers have the tools and they know what to do up front, they're able to help children solve the problems. Okay, you're working together. Just tell them, say, I want to turn. Let them know what you want. What we do is provide them with the necessary tools. One of the tools is Tucker Turtle. He gets mad at his friends, and when he does, he hits and he kicks and he yells and he hurts them. Sometimes Tucker gets really mad. Look at his eyes. What color are they?
Red.
And look at his mouth. He's mad. Can you show me your mad face? Really super mad face. When Tucker got mad, he used to hit and kick, yell at his friends. They're not happy. They're not smiling. Tucker now knows a new way to think like a turtle. You want to help us holding the turtle? What else can he do now? Show us with the turtle. He can tuck inside the shell and he can take 3 deep breaths. Let's practice our deep breaths. 2, 3 deep breaths. Oh, they were good deep breaths. He tucks in there, takes 3 deep breaths, and when he comes out, he can think of a better solution. And that's what the teacher's role is at that point, teaching him what to do when he is angry and replacing that behavior with a more positive behavior. What can you think of something better to do so that you won't have to hit, kick, and yell at your friends?
You can be nice to each other.
You can be nice to each other. What would that look like if we were nice to each other?
You can share.
Oh, you could share.
And you can like be best friends.
And you could be best friends.
And he's my friend too.
How can I tell your friends?
And guess what? Parents can play with each other too.
They can.
Yeah, and they can all share their toys.
All share. So that's what friends do. They share their toys. Do they push each other? Would a friend push each other?
No.
What would happen if you pushed your friend?
You will get hurt.
That's right. You could get hurt. Now remember the steps to Tucker Turtle? He got really mad. He's gonna stop and think inside his shell and take 3 deep breaths. And then he thinks of a better solution.
A light.
Yes, like a light bulb moment. You're right.
For our children, being immersed in an environment that supports their needs socially and emotionally, physically, in every way, it's building into each child resiliency. It's building into each child self-control.
Remember when we're playing on the playground, if we're playing with our friends, what are some of the things that we can remind ourselves? Like if I wanted to go up the slide and you wanted to go up the slide, what should I do?
We can take turns.
We can take turns.
One at a time.
One at a time.
The social-emotional piece is connected to every aspect of your development. We can't miss a beat in those first 5 years.
Yourself and remember a lot of our different strategies to help in problem solving. The big improvement and advantage is we don't have to spend as much time on behavioral problems. Now they're able to do more of the problem solving themselves by giving them the skills they need at an earlier age. So you all gonna work together to make a castle? Are you done?
Can you make a castle with us?
I sure can. Let me go check on De'Ara's cards, and then I'll come back and help you all make a castle,
You did good, De'Ara.
What we're modeling and what we're focusing on and cultivating are those basics that are going to build that child from here on out. There is no more critical work to be done on the planet.
We'll come straight down just like this.
And then make a hump.
And then make a hump. You are so right. You are so right. Let me see you do that.
It's almost like an R.
It sure is. It sure is almost like an R, but you have to bring the line all the way down. You are so, ooh, boy, you are so smart. Ooh, you're smart.
When they move up to another classroom, I just want the children to feel successful, independent, and be able to talk to their peers and to their teachers and be able to express their feelings and just be able to move forward until they get to elementary school and be big boys and girls.
Which one of these faces is angry here?
That one.
That one? Why? Because his cheeks are red? Look at his eyebrows. Do his friends feel like this one here? Well, Tucker's friends are happy when he plays nicely and keeps his body to himself. Friends also like it when Tucker uses nice words or has a teacher help him when he's upset. The end.
Yay!
This is such a critical point in their life. This is the foundation from which they're going to build the rest of their life. Now they're actually solving their own problems more than anything else. It's refreshing.
Huh? You want a bike? Jeremiah and Jada have the bikes, don't they? They just now got on it, so what? Is it okay? Can you wait just a little bit? You can't wait?
It's okay. She can have my bike if you want.
She said it's okay, you can have her bike. You gonna share with him? Did you say, no, you gotta tell her thank you? She's gonna let you ride the bike. Okay, Jada. Go ahead. That was very nice of you, Jada. Thank you so much. You can ride it for 5 minutes. And then you have to share with somebody else, just like she shared with you. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, ride it.
They learn from each other. They teach each other. There's been several occasions when a child will step in and say, that's not how we do that. We do this.
Yeah, everybody say good morning.
Good morning.
It's helped me be a better teacher, to understand their feelings and how to handle them. Like a child came in my room this morning, he was sad because his mother had to leave. And he was crying, and the children understood why he was sad. So understanding their feelings and how to express them to the teachers.
Jonathan's sad. Why is Jonathan sad? He wants his mommy. He's sad. Jonathan, are you going to join us with our colors? Are you okay? Do you want to sit with me? Okay. What's the name of this book?
I said hands are not for hitting.
Good. Hands are not for hitting. Can you wave your hands?
Hello.
Good job.
The social emotional has to be established and learned before the child can move on to learning those basic cognitive skills.
Drawing.
If a child is angry or upset, they cannot learn.
And that boy's singing a song.
What song is he singing?
It's a bitsy spider wrapped around the spout. Down came the rain.
It certainly made a difference in our classrooms. You know, and when you learn more, because the climate is a learning environment where everybody feels comfortable, then chances are you're going to be successful when you enter big school. And if you're successful when you enter big school, then chances are you're going to make it. And all because you've been able to master your behavior at that very early age.
And we use our hands to do what?
Bye.
Bye. Wave goodbye. Good job. Hands are not for hitting.
No.
Okay.
One foot at a time.
I feel like it's very important for children to have the social and emotional skills that they need.
On to the next one. There you go. You almost there. Put your foot up there. Put that foot up. Good job, Grace. Put the other foot up and go up. Pull it. Good job, Grace. Good job.
If they don't have the social emotional skills that they need, they're never going to be able to learn to get along with other people or to even be successful in a job or in school.
Okay, I'll share with you.
So it is very important that they learn these skills at an early age.
Where we going? We have all of our friends?
Yes.
We have them all. We ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go.
They're better prepared for school.
Let's go.
They have the social skills that they need to succeed. When they go to kindergarten, they're going to be ready.
Joey and Sophie Russell. Here's the stop signs.
Stop sign.
I'm gonna ring the bell. What do we tell our friends?
Stop.
Stop. What time is it?
Stop. Stop. Clean up time.
Cleanup time. Here we go. The cleanup song is coming. I feel like I have so many tools to pull from now. It makes me feel like I could do this the rest of my life. We're cleaning up. Good job, Joe. You know, they're young, and I'm teaching them to make choices. Which happy stamp do you think everyone should get for cleaning up? The hearts? Great choice. I don't think we've ever done hearts before. Everyone has to. We're building on each other, and I hope that I'm just the bottom layer of what is to come for them, and that by me teaching them social emotional development, they will be able to self-regulate, be able to make choices as an adult. What kind of face is this? I think that that's huge, and that will lead to decision-making skills as an adult. What kind of face is this?
Happy.
Happy. You know, when I got to this particular classroom, it was very hard. It was very hard. And the tools that I've gained, just being able to change my classroom, just making little changes here and there, but it was little by little, to see the huge, huge difference that it's made is amazing, is life-changing for myself and for the kids.
Joey, jump up and down, jump up and down, jump up and down. Joey, jump up and down and sit right back down.
Joey, great job. What friend?
Lewis,
Jump up and down, jump up and down, jump up and down. Lewis, jump up and down and sit right back down. Okay, Lewis, pick a friend.
I will tell you that in the last 3 or 4 months, I cannot recall a single occasion when I have been asked to come to a classroom or when I've had a child brought to my office because of behavior issues. And I think that's significant.
Super friends look with their eyes, listen with their
You guys were doing such a great job playing together. Give me 5. Awesome.
It's almost like an R.
It sure is. Ooh, boy, you are so smart.
Are we listening, boys and girls?
Would a friend push each other?
No.
What happened if you pushed your friend?
You will get hurt.
Ask your neighbor. Say, can I play with that toy?
I love that toy.
Can I play with you?
My
Clever
super
boy.
friend is helping.
Oh, give it here, super friend. Thank you for helping.
What kind of face is this?
Happy.
We have all of our friends?
Yes.
We have them all. We ready to go? Let's go.
Do super friends supposed to wait their turn? Then you gotta wait your turn then. You can be nice to each other.
You can be nice to each other. What would that look like?
You can share.
Oh, you could share.
I'm so proud of you. You tried some of your cabbage. Good job, Damien.
Are you ready to go show me gentle hands?
Yeah.
Say, Lewis, can I give you a hug?
Hands are not for hands.
No.
How is your monster feeling?
Angry.
Why is it angry?
It's mad because it wasn't small. Body still.
What does this mean?
I'm watching.
What does this mean?
Listen here.
What song is he singing?
It's a bitsy spider wrapped around the spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Very good. You're looking at that picture of that little girl washing her hands just like you. Okay, let's get a towel. Can you reach over and get a towel? I'll help you. Oh, thank you. What a good friend. And let me tie your shoes. Okay, sit down here, sweetie. You're going to wash your hands. You show us. See how she washes her hands?
I could take a child or recommend a child who had lots and lots and lots of learning problems, and almost any teacher in any school I worked was more than happy to take a child with those cognitive challenges, knowing that it would require lots of modifications from a pure curriculum standpoint. But if a child had behavioral problems, I could not convince a teacher that inclusion and certain modifications would really in the long run be helpful for that child in terms of turning some of those behaviors around. We have compassion for kids who have trouble learning, but we tend to think that if kids are acting up, they're just being bad. This is really no different. You have to teach behavior just like you have to teach children how to read.
I was spending so much time correcting that behavior all the time that it was taken away from the learning process, But once we started the program, my whole attitude changed about those kids.
And you're a seasoned teacher. It's not like when you do have a lot of experience and you have had lots of successes addressing difficult behaviors, it still wears you out.
I think a lot of teachers don't realize, though, that it doesn't happen overnight. I've tried a lot of different things, and I just have an open mind of, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm going to try something else until it does work, because I know that it will, and it has. It's paid off.
My kids are a whole lot calmer now, and I'm not spending so much time redirecting and stuff, because now they have the words that they need, and they're solving their own problems. And if they see their friends doing something that they're not supposed to do, then one of them might go over and they correcting themselves. And so I'm not spending as much time doing that myself.
It's like they get to where they're solving their own problems, and the class is almost on autopilot. It's like, whoa, I have time to intervene for educational matters. Is that we have so many resources to front load our students with. We're learning how to deal with our friends through Super Friends, Tucker Turtle's helping us calm down, and we are just filling their brains with that.
We always talk about how we feeling today, what would Tucker Turtle do in this situation. So now I don't have to tell them, they'll tell you what Tucker Turtle would do in that instant and stuff.
It gives them the language that they need to begin to label and talk about emotions and how we're feeling. Because if you wait until they're in the height of that meltdown to begin to label emotions, they need a base to go back to. And so I think what it really ultimately does is quickly turn what could become a very difficult situation around.
It was hard for me. It was hard for some of the other teachers, because I don't think they really saw the benefits of it. I think we were just looking like, oh, just something else for us to do. I think that's the way, I think I'm being honest, that's the way we look at it. Once we got into it and learned more about it, I was excited, because I wanted to learn more about it. So once we got into it, we gave the kids the tools that they needed, and it worked. And even some of the parents talked about they saw the difference in their kids' behavior at home. So you can see the difference at school and at home.
When folks lose their jobs, it's not because they can't read or write. It's because they don't know how to behave in the workplace. If you get those skills in place when they know how to share and be nice, you weren't born knowing how to do those things. And so I think once you can get those things in their mind, that when I lose my job, it's because I don't know what to do or what to say. And that's why we have to help those boys and girls do the right thing. So.
And we have a choice. Teachers will say, well, I'm spending all my time on this one child over here who's acting up, and if I didn't have to do that, then I could focus on the other children.
I think a lot of times teachers will say, I could do so much with my students, I could do so much with my classroom if I only didn't have Billy, or if I didn't have these behavior problems. It's not just the learning that occurs in Circle. It's not just the learning that occurs in the center areas. It's learning that occurs at every moment, and it's making that shift in your mind. That is teaching time. Yes, it does in some ways interrupt the flow of the room, but that also is a teachable moment.
Because everything is curriculum.
Exactly.
From the moment the child enters your building and then subsequently enters your classroom, that's curriculum. It's not this sideline thing we do while we're over here teaching the academic readiness. And you can't say that one is more important than the other.
No.
It's all part of our responsibilities as early childhood educators.
I think it's that attitude of, I signed up to do finger plays and to teach, to do fun art projects. I didn't sign up for the behavior part, but, that comes with it. These are children, and they're vulnerable, and they're coming from varying situations, and for them to be ready for the finger plays to make any sense for them at all, their social and emotional needs have to be met.
Training, the first went very well, but I didn't feel that I had a lot of buy-in. I knew when I came back that I was really going to have to, keep plugging at it. By the time we finished, I think we had 98% buy-in power, and now it's been several months since then, and as I walk through the building, I have teachers that I don't see all the time, but when they do see me, they let me know that things are going well. They have that sense of confidence.
It's a true philosophy change, and it can really challenge teachers who are experienced. It can challenge new teachers. It can really be difficult for directors and administrators to encourage staff who continue to be reluctant despite their coworkers who are enthusiastic, and despite the great changes that you're seeing in your program.
If there's something that's not working, if the classroom environment is not effective, then we have to look at ourselves first. That can cause people to be fearful. You know, you're having to do a total philosophical change and identifying some things in yourself that maybe you need to do differently and you need to improve. And that feels scary. There's where that lack of confidence can come in. Instead of the fear that it may come out looking like you're annoyed or you're irritated or strident, but really it's a fear thing.
I think teacher preparatory courses do a really good job of teaching reading and teaching social studies. You know, from my own experience going through my degree work, I never had a class in teaching social and emotional skills. And so it's something that I think teachers just aren't trained to do. And because I think it's not in that initial formal education that they receive, it's separate from teaching. If I didn't have coursework in it, then it's not tied to education. It's something separate altogether, and then it's the child's fault and the family's fault. But no, it's intrinsic to teaching, and it's so basic and rudimentary to teaching. It is.
I think if you're a teacher, you are probably very good in school. You probably follow all the rules. So when that little child comes along who doesn't and says things either are always nice, you go like, oh my gosh. You're so surprised you don't have any tools because you don't even know how you could even as a child cuss the teacher out. So when it happens, you just want to call me in and make me fix that child so you can go home or whatever. So I think a lot of times it's because we don't know what it's like. I taught at the university level, and I taught a class. I said, guys, what's going to get you in your room is going to be social emotional. You have all those skills in place, but if you don't know when that child hits you what to do, you equip it in the first month of school. And it happens a lot of times.
The focus is so much on academics that it's not so much on the social emotional development. That's where we have to begin when we're talking about young children.
Now I look back and I see the children and I think, you might have been a problem last year. And I think, if we hadn't talked about Tunker, I wonder what you'd be throwing right now. Or, you know, if we hadn't talked about how we're super friends and we talk to our friends, what would you be screaming at that child right now? And that's a really empowering feeling, knowing that because of this program, my children are effective learners in a healthy classroom.
We train every single person involved, the teacher, the assistant, the coaches, administrators. It wasn't just me. So once everybody has the buy-in, understands how it all works together, that made a difference. I don't get the phone calls I used to get. Now I get like, what can we do? This is a problem. How can we help that child to be successful? The conversation is totally different. The key is we're working as a team. The parents know that. The administrators know that. It's not a magic bullet. It has taken time for it to happen. It really does work. You can see it in a book, but to actually see it happening for your program is wow. It's like, gosh, this can make a difference in a child's total life.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
And I love it that I'm getting to see a lot of that problem solving. Children, instead of tattletaling to the teacher, when children are really able to manage it amongst themselves to be able to solve that problem.
And you hear staff using tones that are positive and supportive. It's exciting. It is a culture change. It's a philosophy change, and it's exciting when even the children feel that and reflect it.
You have to believe it's going to work. Otherwise, I can tell you it's going to work. I can give you the data, but if you don't believe it's going to work, if you don't do it, it doesn't matter what we say. I understand that.
The way that I look at it is we can work with it now, or we can work with it later, and it's much better to work with it now, and they can have all those building blocks to keep building upon for the rest of their life.
Right.
It's very frustrating to not know what to do with a child that can't handle their emotions.
It's really hard not knowing what to do. You're frustrated, you get burnt out.
I saw you kicking your friend. I don't think Lewis liked that.
And so teachers can feel like failures themselves.
Look, you're going to share.
We're gonna share. Can I
It's
help?
just trying to stop this from happening, trying to stop that from happening, now trying to stop these arguments and fighting.
What's wrong, Jalen?
The child that feels out of control, feels trapped, and just feels enraged. It's like they're stuck in there.
Sometimes all they know to do is to act out in aggression.
They're too small to really do any damage, but they're gonna try. They're gonna make sure that you notice that they are hurting.
Oh, I know you both want to get in there. Let's do it together.
The social emotional has to be learned before the child can move on to learning those basic cognitive skills.
You're working together.
You have to teach behavior just like you have to teach children how to read.
We talk about how do you feel today? Am I happy? Am I mad? Am I sad?
Jonathan's sad. Why is Jonathan sad? He wants his mommy.
You create a classroom environment that's welcoming and warm and caring, where you can work together.
The social emotional piece is connected to every aspect of your development.
Let me see you do that.
It's almost like an art.
It sure is. You are so, ooh, boy, you are so smart. Ooh, you're smart.
It's building into each child resiliency. It's building into each child self-control.
It's like they get to where they're solving their own problems, and the class is almost on autopilot.
In the last 3 or 4 months, I cannot recall a single occasion when I have been asked to come to a classroom or when I've had a child brought to my office because of behavior issues.
They're better prepared for school. They have the social skills that they need to succeed. When they go to kindergarten, they're going to be ready.
The tools that I've gained just being able to change my classroom is life-changing for myself and for the kids.